You are now at the round table with Lenny S, Maya the Brazilianaire, and Big Light.
Okay, everybody, on with the show!
Take a seat and tune in.
Yeah, once again, we back. NYC, it's the mighty motherfucking round table, baby. Come on. And in the building today, we have a legendary MC in the building. Legendary. Crispy artist. Very crispy with it. Always fresh. So Lenny, tell us who we got in the building.
Talib Kweli is in the building. We're really crispy. Yes, very crispy, like that. And you did like an official show yesterday at Brooklyn Bowl.
I did. I like what y'all was saying about the snow because, you know, I was in Puerto Rico the night before. People were telling me not to fly back. The show gonna be canceled.
Oh wow!
But we sold it out. You know what I'm saying? Jean Grey came and did a thing, and we only planned on the show like 5 days ago.
Wow.
So you know we sold it out in 5 days. So I'm happy about that.
You have a huge fan base anyway, though. What did you expect?
You know, it's people. You know, fans can be fickle. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, if you don't make sure you always have something out, or make sure you always engage in them, you know, out of sight, out of mind. You know.
But the good thing about artists like you have a core. So the core, for the most part, they stay there for the most part.
Yeah. My core fan base really came out and supported me this time around, you know. But I found a way to get right at them. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody's responsibility. It's my responsibility to reach that core fan base. It's their responsibility to, when I reach them, for them to support.
Who was the total ticket for this show? Like who was on the show with you?
Just me.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me.
I know.
J Live was on the show with me. And J Live is the MC who I've enjoyed. He's been out the same amount of time I've been out, and he did his thing. I haven't heard any J Live music or seen him perform in a long time. And he did it. He lives in Atlanta now, I think, but he came up and did his thing, man. So shout out to J Live.
That's really tough.
Now, what's the key to keeping your core audience? I know you can't answer for the rest of the artists and what they do, but what's your key?
Well, my key is no matter how much older I get, and no matter how underground I'm considered to be, I've never been an elitist, and I've never been somebody to be dismissive of trendy music or music from a different region or music from a younger generation. I always approach things that if I don't like something, if something don't hit my ear right, it must be another reason other than it's whack. I don't automatically assume something's whack just because it doesn't.
It may not be for you. Or for me.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I'm able to pay attention to the trends without following them. So I'm able to correctly assess the competition. I know what's out there. I know which one of my songs my fan base is gonna like. I know what my limitations are, but I also know that I'm not limited. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I pay attention to the whole thing, and that keeps me relevant. Too many artists like myself or fans who like my music, they are dismissive of anything that don't talk to them.
Good point.
So.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, just because every time we've interviewed you, I've been super nervous because you're the type to like flip it on someone if they're like,
intelligent too.
You're really smart. I need to have a shot before I got here.
You make her brain worry.
No, and that, you know, you're like somebody I prepared for like a couple days ahead of time, like, you know, and which is super dope.
Hey, that's a compliment. I'll take that.
Okay, all right. Just so you know, I was like, let me just research everything right now. Can we just talk about Gutter Rainbows and is it just a online release?
Digital release.
It's digital release in the United States. When I say that, some people think, oh, that means I can't buy it if I'm not in the United States. Nah, it just means it's digitally available in the United States. And the rest of the world, you can buy a CD.
Yeah, physical copy. Yeah.
Fatbeats.com got the vinyl. You can go on Amazon right now, order the vinyl, order the physical CD, but mom and pop stores sell it as well. So if you're in San Francisco and you go to Amoeba, you know what I'm saying, or you know, mom and pop stores should have it.
Why did you do it that way? Like,
Gutter Rainbows was an album that initially was completely and totally self-financed and brought to you just from me, from my studio to iTunes to your computer, whatever. Drew High and Noah, who are known, and Buckshot, who are known from Duck Down, they started a new distribution company called 3D. So at the last minute, they got involved in helping to distribute it. And so that's been a boon and that's been a blessing, but it's still completely and totally independent. Being that it's independent, there's no major marketing dollars from it. So if you see videos, it's coming straight from my pocket. You see any type of promotion, it's coming straight from my pocket. So we can't get it So to try to compete with a project like that, on the shelves at the Best Buys and the Targets we buy music, with people who get big budgets, it's not worth it for me to even press up them CDs.
It's not worth it, period.
It's not worth it, period. People don't buy CDs. There's a small part of my fan base who's upset. Like some of them upset that I didn't press up CDs, but you know, a lot of fans aren't supporting CDs. You know what I'm saying? Like 95% of music you hear is free downloads.
That leads to my next question. And one thing I really respect about you, because I followed your career from the beginning. I remember you came and did a mixtape with me and Ron G. I mean, we go back.
Yeah.
How you was able to keep your own style? You never changed. You never let, like the game has changed over the years a lot. Atlanta, this, that, you know, everything. The money went flying different ways. But you never compromised yourself. And that I really respect about it. Like, I always wonder, how did you do that? How did you, stand on your feet all this time without falling victim to the money grab?
Well, I think it goes back to the same thing with the other question, is that I've always, throughout my career, whether it's will.i.am or Gucci Mane, I've been criticized for the artists that I choose to work with. But it's me working with artists and challenging myself outside the box, whether it's work, two producers I learned the most from, people would expect me to say Kanye West and High Tech, which these are my friends and I learned a lot from them, and they my family. But two producers I learned a lot from as well as DJ Quick and Jermaine Dupri.
From LA?
Yeah.
Quick.
And Jermaine Dupri, I mean, I don't make music that you would consider their style, but it's just important. I'm a man of the people. When I say that, I don't just mean people who relate to what I do. So I'm able to put my style and put what I do without compromising it up against whatever's popping, and be like, that's popping for right now, but this style's gonna be classic, gonna be cracking forever. You know what I'm saying? But the only way I'm able to do that is if I know. If I don't know what's going on, I'll be in my own world, wondering why I'm underground, wondering why nobody get what I'm saying.
So, okay, because Gutter Rainbows, there was another album that you're working on, and I was watching an interview, Prisoners of Conscience. Yeah. Why did you put that on the back burner for Gutter Rainbows?
Well, I was on Warner Brothers last year, dropped the Reflection Eternal album with High Tech on Warner Brothers. I was very unhappy with how they marketed and promoted that album, so I left Warner in the summer. And for the first time in my professional career, I wasn't signed to a label. I didn't have to clear a project or be on anybody's schedule. So I said, now's the perfect time to just release a project, and that's where the idea for Gutter Rainbows came from. So Prisoner of Conscience is something I'm working on. I have since gotten a new deal with Blacksmith, my company, through EMI. We're gonna put out Prisoner of Conscience in the summer. But last summer, I didn't have a deal, and I had all this music, so I was like, you know what, let me put this album out.
That's dope.
Was that a mutual, your contract was up, or y'all just mutually broken apart? Like,
yeah, and I had a couple more albums I owed to Warner Brothers, but we were able to split ceremoniously.
What's your biggest dislike about the music business?
Biggest dislike about the music business is, I used to say lack of historical context, people not understanding the history of it and making decisions that are ignorant of the history of what other artists have gone through. But nowadays I feel like that's shifted. I feel like the biggest disappointing thing, and you know what, before I say that, I want to just take the time to thank my fans in particular. This album is self-financed and independently released, and it's the number 29 album on the Billboard charts.
Number 4 on the hip hop.
Number 4 on the hip hop charts. You know what I'm saying? And for it to be a digital only release, and to sell, not to name anybody's names, but to sell more than a lot of artists who had major label backing and physical and digital releases, is an incredible thing.
So you should recoup your money you put in this.
Oh, we've been recouped. You feel me? Like this, and it's like
his expression. Your expression never changed, though. Whatever you talking about.
Yeah. But I, this is the first time that it's happened like that. I ain't never recouped in my first week. I had to do it myself. And digital, the Reflection Eternal album came out last year. We only sold 10,000 digital copies first week on Warner Brothers. I'm selling 14,000 Dolo with no major marketing push, no song on the radio, nothing. With that said, so I have to thank my fan base for supporting me and putting their money where their mouth is. But for the industry in general, I find that there's a lot of talk about what artists should be doing and what's wrong with the business without people actually participating in supporting these artists. So if you're not participating in the culture, like you guys are fully invested in the hip hop culture with your show. Like I see y'all show, I've been on your show a bunch of times. Your show is about the culture of hip hop. Therefore, you giving back. If you're not a producer, making beats, making rhymes in the studio, a show promoter, doing an internet show, if you just straight being a consumer, but you're not even at least purchasing stuff, you're really giving up your say so. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're really giving up your right to even have an opinion on it because you're not participating. You know what I'm saying?
With saying that, what do you think like are some pros and cons of the internet and the effect that it's had on hip hop?
It depends on the artist. You know, the artist, it could be somebody like the homie Charles Hamilton has been a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it allows you to see too much of the personality when you're supposed to just be focused on the art. You know what I'm saying? For somebody like a Wale or somebody like, who's taking advantage, a Wiz Khalifa, there's artists who have really utilized the currency, Big Crit, there's artists who have really utilized it to get their fan base out there, to get their music out there, but it's a new hustle. It's a new hustle, and it's networking. That's what it is. You gotta look at it for what it is. But it's seductive, because you gotta give yourself and be honest on there. But then you have to have like a bulletproof jacket. Like you gotta be honest, but you gotta be guarded and reserved at the same time.
Right. All right. Should we take a break and come back?
Yeah.
This is good. All right.
Great.
Talib Kweli is in the building.
Big Jeff.
Table show.
I feel like one of them TV shows in the 60s.